lot of things to cover. So let me start, first of all, with this whole tuition issue. I know at the beginning of the week we were asking, where's the mayor on this? Where's the mayor on this? But then my understanding was you try to have basically a common front. You didn't want to do this on your own. You wanted to talk to other groups involved. And then you came out and said you did not like this. So where are we now?
Yeah, you're right. It was important for me to speak to all universities, including the French-speaking ones. And what we realized is that it all took us by surprise. The decision of the government of Quebec to raise the tuition for English-speaking universities. And for us, it was a shock. And for me, as the mayor of the metropolis, of course, I'm really concerned because I feel like it sends a very bizarre and not so welcoming message to, all kinds of students that might want to come and study in Montreal. They could be from elsewhere in Canada or from the international scene. So I'm definitely, worried, but I'm also asking the government to maybe rethink that and to think more globally about how to better support French-speaking universities instead of penalizing the English-speaking ones.
Can you, part of what I've said in this is the idea that the government has about financially how this is going to be better for the province. Has someone done a calculation of how much money the city would lose if we don't have those foreign students here?
Well, that is a good point, and this is what I was definitely, grabbing from the different university, but also sharing with my colleagues at the provincial level, saying maybe in the short term it looks like a good decision, but what does it mean for the entire ecosystem of all the universities in Montreal, but also for the downtown core, for the city itself, that we all know that in a way to attract more, talents to work in different important industries for the economy. What we need is talent. We need students. And I think that not to have those students would be a huge issue in the near future and in the future later. So I'm definitely worried about this.
Are you feeling hopeful that, there's been such an uproar about this and it's made, Canadian news, it's made international news at this point.
I know.
Certainly, yes, our reputation, as you said, Mayor,
right.
But in concrete terms, the kind of impact that this could have on us, do you have a sense that this government might budge a little or there might be some wiggle room to change things?
Right. I'm a very positive, hopeful mayor. So definitely, I think that because this government loves French, and I do too, we all do, but this government also loves, the economy and the economic growth and how we will, make our difference between Ontario and Quebec better, like not as important. I believe they should be rethinking of that and come up with ideas, again, that could be positive, that could actually better support financially the French-speaking registration without having to penalize the other side. So I will continue to have those conversations, but this is a major issue, and you're right. I hear my colleagues talking about it elsewhere in Canada. It's already out there, and I think it's really hugely problematic in terms of how we will attract new people, families, talent, students into joining, the workforce of the province of Quebec.
All right. I want to shift gears, Mayor, and talk a little bit about what we have. And actually, there's a demonstration going on in our streets yet again today. Some people have wondered, are we doing enough to control these? I know we had a bit of an issue the other night down around Atwater and St. Catherine. You reached out to the Jewish community about a week ago. I know you were down at Chesky's, which is a great place to be on a Friday. What exactly, at what point do you decide, we will allow this much, but not that much when it comes to these protests?
Well, I think for me, I always come back to, we're in a free country, democracy is important, and we have freedom of speech is also important. So having demonstration is legal, and ultimately I think it's important. That being said, if there's any kind of hatred message or if there's a protest where people are moving forward, like how, violence or wanted or asking for actions of violence and hatred, this is where we draw the line. And we work really closely with the SPVM. And the thing is, we know that in any demonstration, any, manifestation, there's always people that are there. And I hear it. A lot of people are worried about their family on one side or the other. They're scared. They feel helpless. So to be together can be a good thing, but we need to resist. That's my message. If we're walking right now, we should be walking for peace. That's so crucial. And for sure, resist. Maybe a call for any kind of violence or to put more oil on this very complex conflict happening right now.
I think, both the Jewish and Palestinian Montrealers are worried and hurting,
Yes.
really, really, truly hurting at this time.
Yeah.
What would you like to say? So many of our listeners, we have a huge Jewish audience here. What would you like to say to our listeners in terms of comfort?
Yeah, well, I mean, for sure, I want to say that the mayor of Montreal, but on behalf of all Montrealers, whatever community is, I mean, we think of the families and people that are stuck in a very difficult situation. It could be the civil that are hostage in Palestine or in Gaza, and the other way around, right? All the civils that are being held in Gaza without, whatever it's electricity or water. This is very difficult. And as a city, and this is important for me to say it, I call on other authorities, our countries that have the ability and the tools. I sometimes feel helpless myself as a city, but for sure, my thought will always be with civilians over there and the families of all communities here in Montreal. It's a safe space. It's a safe place. It's a place where we should be asking for peace and for the people that are stuck in a situation that is absolutely awful.
Okay. I know you have to go. I want to ask one last thing with respect to the fire in Old Montreal. I know the Big Gazette story and then the police coming out suggesting, no, those facts are wrong. Do you have trust in what's going on now with the police investigating this, or are there issues here?
Right. Well, they do have my trust. I mean, since the beginning, like when the fire happened, they were on site, they were on the field. I got all the information. They were really, moving forward, straightforward. They take this so seriously. So I know there's, different information happening, going around. But for me at this point, I want to reassure the families that I have lost someone in this terrible, no, it's not an accident, but fire, that everything is put together in order to find what happened. And I know it's complex, but we will come up with, the SPDM and the fighter will come up with, what happened for real and how we will move forward with this.
Okay. Mayor, I thank you so much for your time. Oh, wait. Natasha wants to ask you one last question, which is, of course, are you running again in 2025?
I think I already know the answer to that question, but please, Mayor, go ahead.
Well, yeah, I was asked that 2 weeks ago, maybe last week. Mm-hmm. Time passed so fast. But yes, I will be running next election. I feel like I have much more to give, and hopefully all Montrealers will give me their trust again. So, and I will be working hard for that and to leave no one behind, that's for sure.
So that's a 100% you will be running again?
I will be running again.
Okay.
100%.
I thank you so much. We always appreciate you giving us your time. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a great weekend.
Valerie Plante, Montreal's mayor. There you go.